I didn't expect this show to be this good. Between the animation, the fight scenes, the storyline, and episode 5, I don't know which is the best part. The show is a visual masterpiece, and the best thing to come out since Arcane. The main character, Mizu, definitely toes the line between villain, anti-hero, but we do get to see her character development throughout the season. There are moments of kindness that shows her sense of morality, notably her gifting of the golden comb to that mother and child. But in the end, her goal is revenge. Let's talk about it. BlueEyeSamurai is a thrilling new series that has taken Netflix by storm. The show centers around the life of Mizu, a young Japanese-American woman who embarks on a journey of self-discovery and vengeance, driven by a dream of revenge against those who made her an outcast in Edo period Japan. Throughout the season, we see the young warrior cut a bloody path toward her destiny. Like an independent artist, Mizu proves to be a strong combatant in her own right. Even in the absence of a traditional master-student dynamic, the moniker BlueEyeSamurai has resonance. Her mentor, Swordfather, who crafts swords, acts as a mentor, bridging the gap and recognizing Mizu's skill, even though it isn't through customary ceremonies. This decision emphasizes the special dynamics of Mizu's apprenticeship in the realm of swordsmanship and represents the complexity of her path. The series is set against the backdrop of a contemporary urban landscape, blending elements of traditional samurai ethos with modern-day crime drama. Mizu's quest for justice leads her to confront powerful and dangerous adversaries, testing her physical and mental prowess at every turn along the way. She forms unlikely alliances and discovers her own inner strength, all while struggling to uphold honor worthy of the name samurai and the honor coming with it. The narrative is captivating and engrosses you right away because to its multifaceted, engaging characters, all of whom develop and mature throughout the course of the season. Many thanks to the extremely well-written script, they're all simply so wonderfully developed that you can truly relate to every one of them. The styling and animation are exquisite and expertly done. It strikes the ideal balance between the utmost gore and brutality and subtle compassion. This series, in my opinion, has broad appeal beyond simply anime enthusiasts. Nevertheless, I have seen comparisons to Kill Bill. The show's accuracy of the historical events really surprises me, because it's rooted in a lot of real-world truths of our past, down to Fowler's background story in Ireland under O'Neill. It makes me wonder if Mizu is going to meet Rutli, and the political chaos of the late 1650s London. I never gave anime much thought in terms of cinematography, but this series turns out to have a lot of it. For example, a brief but striking sequence included snow falling on a castle backdrop, with the structure gradually coming into focus. Next cut to a closer view of the same castle, still covered in snow only to cut to an inner hallway shot, gradually bringing the camera along a dimly lit hallway to the opening of a door that ushers you into the following scene. The program also conveys a lot of wonderful lessons. The mentor's statement that the soul has two chairs, one for good and one for evil, resonates with me. However, he also gives a dire warning. If you are not whole, the demon will take both, which suggests that all of your decisions have an impact on the kind of person you will end up being. Actions have consequences, which is ingrained in your soul. Despite your best efforts to atone, the effects of your past actions linger, and you are left to either live with and accept them or to justify them, which keeps you trapped in a never-ending cycle of grief that weighs 10 times as much on your body, mind, and soul. It was a great twist that the training weights she attaches to her limbs have two purposes. Mizu still had a lot of growth since she was flawed, had to learn from her mistakes, and had to learn to persevere despite how cruel the world was to her. It demonstrates her skill development and learning. Despite her prowess, she is absolutely brutalized in multiple fights. Not because she believes herself to be a guy, but only to avoid the sexual discrimination prevalent at the time, she conceals her gender. For a while, she accepted her feminine traits until she was deceived and reverted to her hate and need for blood. The show shows us how challenging it is for women to succeed in the world, and how every one of them forges their own route. Though Akemi and Mizu share a strong will and determination, they fight a world that continuously humiliates and underestimates them with quite different weapons. I like how many messages there are about the suffering and strength from the female perspective. Breathtaking to watch the two classic representations of feminine strength, Akemi and Mizu, come to life. Though you may not always agree with how exactly Mizu uses her strength, there's no denying that she is more strong than all of these men, perhaps with the exception of her swordmaster's spiritual might. It shows how women can embody their more masculine energy or be strong in sexually feminine ways. There are moments when these warrior female programs fail to fully capture the strength of the subdued feminine. I adore Akemi's battle against prostitution and her tenderness and sensuality. Then Mizu's use of her masculine traits to fight. They complement each other like a yin and yang. Albeit not necessarily in the most memorable and poignant episode of the series was episode 5. However, there is a persistently bittersweet belief that women are only accepted for their feminine aspects, not for their masculine ones. Alternatively, their feminine side is weak if they do acknowledge their masculine side. It illustrates how women have to make their way through the world, their constrained options, and how they get around them by using their femininity as power to change the system. How their masculinity is an integral part of who they are, and that the only way they may find inner peace is by accepting every aspect of who they are. There's something about the fact Mizu switches between the samurai and the wife, ending as a vengeful spirit that's so telling. The storytelling through scenery is amazing. But speaking of, let's talk about episode 5. There was a lot of discourse online pertaining to the marriage. Some were on the husband's side while others were on Mizu's. As fans pointed out, if you were fighting with your spouse and they, intentionally or not, put you in risk with a weapon, who wouldn't lose trust in you and be afraid? Particularly when it appears that your significant other is capable of something and has not before disclosed to you. Since life taught Mizu to fend for herself more than it did compassion, I'm sure she didn't mean to instill terror in her husband. However, I think she was justified in leaving him behind in the end. Like all genuine humans, he is a multifaceted character. He's humbled by his demotion, he works hard, and he doesn't see her as an item. Nevertheless, for a relationship to last, it takes two, and what he lacked was the patience Mizu needed to continue mending and discover what love was all about. After their first duel, her husband should have informed her straight out how her action made him feel, and that she shouldn't do that to him again. But instead, he was too ready to assume the worst and write her off as a monster. It has a lot to do with Mizu's desire for more tolerance in order for her spouse to comprehend her viewpoint and boundaries as well as his. Mizu is highly motivated by those who bring significant meaning to her existence. She has the mental fortitude and adaptability to sacrifice any convenience and go above and beyond for those she loves. However, her husband's decision to forego saving her during the bounty attack and his subsequent crawl back to ask for forgiveness after she survived are clear indications that he is unwilling to stick by her side and support her through life's obstacles. In comparison to her willingness to sacrifice for him, he is not as willing to do the same for her. The show does not only depict the constraints of being a woman, but they portrayed people with disabilities, Ringo in particular, in a very courteous and optimistic light. I think metaphorically, Ringo is her heart, and Taigen is her honor, and I like Taigen and Mizu's relationship. They are, in my opinion, complementary in the sense of fire and ice. They are complementary to one another. When one is deficient, the other compensates, and vice versa. They both even have aims and goals that they hope to achieve, honor versus vengeance. I hope that Season 2 expands on this and include additional exchanges between the two. I think that they improve each other as individuals. Mizu discovering that love may be a strength rather than a weakness, while Taigen grows more grounded. It might lead to her discovering how to love and be loved in return, though getting there might take some time. The fighting choreography is also amazing. It depicts Mizu defeating more powerful adversaries, and even though there are moments when the action seems a little implausible, like the time Mizu chops a person in half while he's jumping with one arm, I believe that the fact that the action is animated lends it a more credible sense of realism. The show's diverse and dynamic cast brings a fresh perspective to the screen, capturing the complexities of cultural identity and the enduring spirit of the samurai code in a contemporary context. With its gripping narrative and captivating characters, BlueEyeSamurai has captivated audiences worldwide, earning praise for its bold storytelling and groundbreaking representation. This series is a must-watch for anyone seeking an exhilarating and thought-provoking viewing experience. In the end, we know that Mizu is heading to London, ready to make her way through a foreign land, which is likely to come with quite a bit of culture shock, in hopes of killing her last two targets. Meanwhile, Akemi is heading to the palace to find whatever influence she can over the future of Japan, while Ringo seems to have found a new master. Now, for this part of the video, since the show has been renewed for a Season 2 by Netflix, I thought we could discuss fan theories for the next season. One fan wrote, "I suspect the Irishness of the villain will play out more in London, where both of them are heading towards at the end. I suspect we will see how the Irish too are outsiders and seen as less than, just like so many in this series. There could also be a plot twist where Mizu's father was a prominent Japanese nobleman, possibly even the shogun, and her biological mother is a European. Given that a maid was employed to keep Mizu hidden and secure, her mother had to be someone of greater social standing. Her mother might still be living too. As an alternative, a storyline twist might be that Mizu's mother is one of the 4 white males. I also think we may get to see how she killed her first target. Some fans are hoping that by using the London setting, they will provide Mizu the opportunity to reveal a fresh perspective on the world, and also add some more complex white characters who are not only antagonists. The potential would be enormous. If not, it would just be slightly one-dimensional. I'm eager to see how the character arcs, action sequences, and narrative unfolds in Season 2. Comment down below your theories for Season 2 or what you would like to see in this next season. Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so that you get notified when I post another video. Thanks for watching.